You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario
Hey,
Christian.
no, it ain't Dario Christian, y'all. Steven, you gotta turn my twerk music up louder than that. Hey. Hey guys, welcome to Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined. Yes, Dario Christian unfortunately is out of town, but I am DJ Jesse Janity taking his place. We have some amazing co-hosts here tonight. Joining me from Black Hollywood Live next is the host, Ebony Williams.
Hi Jesse, how you doing? What up?
Also joining us from Black Hollywood Live stand-up sit-down show is the host, Nick Perdue.
What up?
And as a very special celebrity guest host here tonight, we have the one, the only, the beautiful Tammy Torres.
Hey guys.
So we have so many hot topics for you guys this week. I mean, from Chad Ochocinco to getting 30 days in jail to Ciara getting served.
Literally.
Yeah. And Jill Scott making some comments about twerking as we had our theme song here tonight. But before we get to that, I want to get to this week's last week's Buzz Meter question. We asked you guys, should Tyler Perry be removed from the OWN network? All right, so 49% say yes, 42% say no, and then there was 9% of you guys who just probably didn't care. But so I don't know, OWN. Listen up. Maybe take Tyler off. I don't know what you want to do about that. So this week, our Buzz Meter question for you guys is, should the affirmative action law be updated? It's 2013. Maybe people are making strides from the past. I mean, what's going on here? So we're going to talk about that a little later.
We are. Yeah,
we're going to discuss it and open it, and we want to hear what you guys think. And make sure you check that out at blackhollywoodlive.com. All right? Let's get into some trending topics, though. We're going to start with Ocho Cinco, our favorite guy here, Chad. So Chad's been having some problems lately, legally. You know, the whole thing with Evelyn has gone on. And, you know, right when he was about to get a no-jail plea deal, and he was going to get early probation, he was in court, and, you know, we got a video, so we're just going to we're going to let the video play and let that do the explaining. But basically, he got a little playful. He thought he was on the field with this one.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of your attorney on your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the assistance of your attorney?
He's awesome.
Okay. You should be. He's an excellent attorney. He did a great job for you, sir. Okay. Do you have any questions of Mr. Swickle? Do you have any questions for him? Okay. Mr. Johnson, I don't know that you're taking this whole thing seriously. I just saw you slap your attorney on the backside. Is there something funny about what's going on here today?
So that's Circuit Judge Kathleen McHugh, and she didn't take too kindly to Chad slapping his lawyer on the rear. Now, she gave him an extra 3 months probation, linked to that, and then also sentenced him to 30 days in jail, just for that.
Yeah.
I think it's terribly
Let's
wrong.
just throw it out there. Well, Tammy, what do you think about this?
Personally, I know Chad.
Okay.
I know the type of person he is. I think she took it a little overboard of saying, "Oh God." She shouldn't even be. If it could have been avoided if she probably was just looking down at her paperwork and would have missed that 1 second if you think about it. But I think he didn't mean no harm. He just was probably, she said something that he didn't expect and was pretty good and was like, "Oh yes, yeah."
Yep.
But unfortunately, Chad, you should know better right now. They have the eyes are on you.
Right.
So everything you do is accountable for.
What do you guys think?
I mean, at the end of the day, here's the deal, right? I absolutely don't think Chad Johnson meant any harm. In fact, I think to a certain extent, he was prodded. I mean, she said he did an excellent job for you, in a way implying you need to acknowledge that. in Chad Johnson's mind, being the football player he is, his acknowledgement came in the form of a butt slap. Here's the thing, though. You are in a court of law. And at the end of the day, every judge has their right to discretion, judge's discretion. Then it's not a football field, Chad. You have to be serious. What's also interesting, Chad himself did not laugh when he slapped the butt.
Yeah.
It was the response of the gallery, the bailiff laughing, and the laughter that was solicited in the courtroom that I think the judge didn't take to.
Right.
So.
Well, and here's the thing, like, he's doing what he does, and he's a showboat and this and that, but
that's the problem that got him in this situation.
True, but I don't think that this was out of place, and the reason why I'm saying that is because like he's been playing football since he was young. Like, this is all he knows essentially. You know what I mean? And so, like, anytime you congratulate someone, even if you're like playing video games, or if you're out, if you're like.
Nick, here's the issue with that, though, right? So, I'm a crackhead, right? And so all I know is, sniffing
not really
rocks
a
all day. No, I'm not, obviously. Does that mean that's customary behavior in a courtroom? It's not. You're not entitled to exhibit your customary behavior in someone else's courtroom.
True, but like you did say, though, that like he didn't take it as like, haha, yeah, we're having a good time. It was the gallery that really, got to laughing and everything. And so like they are the ones, I think, who gave him the extra 30 days in jail and the extra 3 months
I agree with that.
That's
probation. Because honestly, if they wouldn't have laughed,
right,
then she probably just would have like
I agree.
Bypassed
agree with
it,
that.
absolutely.
It, yeah.
But they did, and it was just a little. No, but I don't even mean it like that. It's just a little it's just uncalled for. I hate getting dressed up, but if I was to go to court, I would have. I do.
Right.
I put
I
a
gotta
suit
say
and tie. What
something.
you
This
got?
is gonna be the hardest part. So, what's up, dog? What are you in jail for?
Right.
Slapping my attorney in
Slapping
that.
Well, technically,
They can be like, damn, you get down like that? Yeah.
Hopefully he's in solitary.
Well, I
Hopefully
want to
he's
say,
by himself.
Chad, first of all, you in this trouble because you slapped someone. Now you
Right.
just go.
and that's further.
Keep your hands to yourself.
That's
Keep your
a
hands
good
to yourself,
point,
Chad.
right? Further to the point, right? Keep your hands to yourself. You are demonstrating. You got a problem with self-control, brother. Like, for real. I need you to just keep it here. In the court, like, don't even move from here.
But he was so close. He was right there too. Like it was like at the end of everything too, and it.
Well, all right. So he's got 30 days, and he was served. But another person who was served is Miss Ciara. So this weekend, past weekend, Ciara was the headliner for LA Pride. She did an amazing job. The outfit choice, but beyond that, I don't mind this. But on the back, she had some Swan Lake thing. It just looked weird. But anyway, so Ciara's performing, and I don't know if you remember last week on Hot Topics, we talked about Ciara was supposed to appear at a nightclub right before Pride. In her contract, it said that she can't perform anywhere except for Pride for that weekend, so she had to cancel with them a week in advance. So it's really up to the contract, I guess, if they can sue her. But they said they're pushing forward and suing her, and they decided to deliver her papers mid-concert, and we have video for that as well. Oh, Lord.
I like how she says "ooh baby" too, right at your ear.
Ooh, baby.
Now, two things. One, leave it to the gays to do some itch like that.
Right.
Two, good job, Ciara, for not stopping, because I would have been real ghetto up in there like, oh, hell no. So congratulations to Ciara for holding her composure right there. But what do y'all think about this
Well, what's funny
situation?
was her reaction, right? Like you said, she probably thought it was like a love letter
Or an
a fan,
autograph
something
to
like
sign,
that.
yeah.
So she's like, oh, there's a caption, never mind. But here's the thing, right? People don't realize you don't have proper suit filed until you get what they call right here service of process. This is like a mandatory part of your lawsuit. So they had to find out where she was, and sometimes it's difficult to sue people, except for when you're a celebrity and your schedule is like public knowledge.
Yeah.
So, here you go.
That's the only difficult
There's
thing.
never any type of inappropriate timing for that.
Right,
Because
yeah.
technically, couldn't she fight back? Like, this was a huge event that was paid for, and they disrupted her
Hell
event?
no. It's like Wendy Williams tells a story how she was served by getting a box of really nice designer shoes. Like a shoe box was mailed to her studio.
That's real nice.
And
That's
she was excited, and then she opened it, and it was the court papers. So no, there's no requirements.
Were there shoes in it though?
No, it was a brick for the weight. It was a brick for the weight, and the papers.
That's terrible.
It's real out here.
But this is my question: where is her security to stop these people from even getting that close to?
Well,
the,
no,
There are
the-
fans there.
Yeah, because the way that it was set up, you had like a little catwalk, and so the fans could be right up close at the end of the catwalk.
So I mean, like they bought tickets to the event.
I'm sure they did. It's worth it to them. I'm sure that suit's probably for $40, $50, $100,000. Sure. What's an $80 ticket?
I think it's 10,000 because that's how much.
Oh,
they
that's
were-
how much they
But who knows
appearances.
how much they're gonna build it up to be like oh, we hurt
Damages,
this
and
much,
people were
First
expecting
of all,
you,
y'all, it
and-
was Ciara. Calm down.
Yes.
Just kidding. I love you, Ciara.
God
God is.
But my question is, does it, being that she grabbed it, it already counts?
That's effective service. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
it. It's
And
done.
She just threw it back
What
in
if
there.
she?
Wow.
What if she didn't take
Didn't
it?
matter. Here's the court reads that as if it was reasonable that you should have been made aware. That's the test. So if it was reasonable, if this was my lawsuit right here, and it would be presumed, girl,
girl, as a
that's
matter of
within
fact.
eyesight, right? Here you go.
We
Yeah.
gonna get deep here on Black Hollywood Live.
Yeah, justice.
Because like, I always thought that like you had to be handed, so that's why like someone they can mail it to you, and as long as you receive it, then you still.
No,
As long
has
as they
to be
can prove
dropped
you
off,
can be
right?
received. Yeah, well, there's a couple. You can mail, you can hand deliver. The point is, you have to have retained knowledge. The person has to have either actual or reasonable, knew or should have known is the standard. You knew or should have known you were being sued. Period, point blank.
Well, I do a lot of club appearances, and by this time and age, I'm pretty sure she should have had a contract that says, "Well, this is if I need to cancel, just in case." Da, da, da.
These are the
It should
terms.
have. These are the terms for it. So,
Which
mean,
I think we spoke about earlier. You said at her stature, there probably
yeah,
is something.
There should be in there, so I think she should be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, someone who's not doing fine is M. Night Shyamalan and Will Smith and Jaden Smith. After Earth came out, it was supposed to be this huge, epic movie, and I mean, it came in third place. It garnered $27 million.
It's not bad.
Comparing to Fast and the Furious 6, which landed first place with $34.54 million. There's a couple things going on with this movie. A lot of people are saying that they're blaming it on the acting, saying maybe the acting isn't good. The plot wasn't good, which I enjoy M. Night, but as his work and audience say, he's not really one of the most well-spoken about people when it comes to his movies. And then other people are trying to make it into a race thing by saying Will Smith has the audacity. This is so racist. I'm just like, Will Smith has the audacity to think that more than one black actor can live in the limelight at his or her own choosing.
I don't even get
Who?
what that's referring to. Right?
I tried to understand this
time with that. Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? So here's some of the other famous newspapers. What they thought of the movie. Slate magazine said, even with his charismatic dad in his earpiece calling the shots, Jaden can't turn himself into a movie star by sheer force of will. Wow. Chicago Sun-Times says, as for the plot, I guess recycling remains in vogue centuries from now. Okay. NY Daily News says, summer 2013 has its first bomb, and sadly, it's landed right on Will Smith. So, I mean, just leave the racism out of it. Why do we have to bring that into here?
Yeah, I hate when people play the race card unwarrantingly, because here's the thing about there's a lot of racism still existing here in America. We'll get to some of that later. So when it's not there for you to call attention to it, you're jeopardizing the credibility of the claim. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have time for that, because we need to address race when it's a real racially charged issue. This is just probably a bad movie.
Well, and so they did a press circuit for it, and one of the interviews that they did, someone said, well, it's really hard for us to believe this movie, and this doesn't make sense either, because we feel like you and Jaden don't really have a close bond. I'm like, you see them in every
What?
damn picture
Yeah.
together. They did how many movies together? And so in that moment, Will Smith takes Jaden, opens up his mouth, and kisses him.
Oh.
It was really awkward and very on the mouth, and I don't know why he opened the mouth and
Very
like
on
made
the
like
mouth.
tongue situation. It was weird. And so Will Smith said, we're so close, that we can kiss like this. I'm like,
I don't even know why he had
some
to
Birdman,
defend
Lil
it.
Wayne right there.
Exactly what that is.
Oh my! Well, no, okay. Here's the thing. Because we've seen Will Smith with his son, and so I think probably one of the best interviews that we've seen was with Oprah. This was years ago when he really kind of
Right.
introduced Willow and Jaden and everything, and so you saw how he is as a father. So and all the kids there, Trey was there and everything. So and that's just the type of guy that he is. Like he has a lot of love for his kids, and I don't think it's an inappropriate type of situation, but it's also too. It's like he probably gets so much stuff thrown at him all the time about is he a good father, what type of father is he, this and that, da. So he just does things. And probably to him and to Jaden, it's probably like one big joke. They're like, we really don't care.
I mean, what bad thing have you ever heard of Jaden Smith doing?
Never. And furthermore, they actually have on-screen chemistry as actors. We
Yeah.
saw in Pursuit of Happiness. They
Yeah.
were fantastic together.
Yeah.
So I don't even think that was a valid thing for him to
Exactly.
feel the need to defend in that way.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of defending, Debbie Rowe, Michael Jackson's ex-wife, had some defending to do when she made a claim. We all heard about Paris Jackson. She had made a suicide attempt. And Debbie came out to say that there were cases of depression and her wanting to commit suicide. Well, people took that far to the right and said that Debbie was trying to get custody over Paris. That is not true. She said she would be willing to step in under certain circumstances, but it's not her wish to take full custody. She wants to respect Michael's wishes as well as Catherine, and she doesn't also want to take the
Right.
kids away from each other, which two of the children are biologically hers,
Right.
but still she doesn't want to take them away. She wants them to live their life. She says she has a really close relationship with Paris. When she needs to lay the law down, she does. She's very strict with her. But there is no, she says she even respects TJ Jackson and thinks he'll make a great guardian.
Great. Well,
So-
yeah. I mean, contractually, she renounced parental rights many, many, many years ago, pursuant to a financial settlement with Michael when he was alive. So that makes sense. However, we are seeing a lot of troubles with Paris Jackson.
Well, so
obviously.
legally,
she doesn't have a leg to stand on, except if Catherine Jackson and then the second and third primary guardians are found to be unfit. If that were to happen and a judge says, Catherine, no, Tito, no, no one else in line, then Debbie could maybe have a plea for a case.
okay. Even if Paris was to come out and say,
Doesn't matter.
really?
Because the court goes with the best interest of the child.
Okay.
But now, question though, but like, can they still have a relationship? though?
Absolutely,
Like, okay.
absolutely.
They do have a very
Yeah.
Yeah.
good relationship from what sources are saying. So,
Yeah, to the extent that many people speculated that that was what her suicide attempt was founded on, Paris and her brother Prince have had a bit of an odds about this. Prince wants nothing to do with his biological mother, Debbie Rowe, considers his sister a traitor for seeking to develop that relationship you're talking about, Nick.
can't wait to watch this movie.
It's going to be so, I hope it's on
Wow.
Lifetime.
Girl.
I really hope it's on Lifetime.
I want a VH1.
I want a reality show. That's what I want. I want to see everyday
come
life
on.
reality show.
I don't want that. I want a made for like the old VH1 movies that they used to do. I want one of those.
Based on a reality.
Based
I
on
like
a
that
reality.
because nowadays it's just
Right. So, at the end of the day, our wishes go out to Paris. I hope you get better and figure out whatever the situation is that you're going through. And in the meantime, to help you get there, it's really simple. You can actually, Paris, wherever, if you're hanging out at home, and to the fans at home, if you're watching your favorite TV show, right afterwards, check out AfterBuzzTV.com. It's our sister site here at Black Hollywood, and we cover every TV show you can possibly imagine, from all the Real Housewives to Deception, Scandal, House of Cards, whatever your favorite TV show is, we cover it at AfterBuzzTV.com. So make sure you check that out. All right, so let's head into some rumors and gossip with Sir Nick Purdue.
This is interesting. So, my
boo thing.
my soon-to-be boo, Amanda Bynes, is going to release.
Which, pause, everyone at home,
we just take
need
over?
to start a hashtag Twitter thing. Amanda Bynes for BHL. We
Yes.
want her on the show.
Yes.
We want Amanda. We feel like this would be a great home for her. So, Amanda,
Yes.
please, Black Hollywood, go.
Yeah, we'll even develop a show or whatever. Anyway, so, she is releasing an album with Ching Changa Records. I've never heard of this record company, but I feel it's going to be something just delicious and something that, because here's the thing. With Amanda Bynes right now, people have called her crazy, and, she's had all these pictures, and she had, like, the crazy workout video that needs to go to DVD. But this record is going to be amazing. That's what I feel.
You really just said that with conviction.
It is.
But, and I want to believe it. What I really want is for when this album is about to pop off, she takes that wig off and she's just beat for the gods. And she just.
That would be amazing.
Yes, and she just kills the game. I would love it. I would love if that was going to happen. And I pray that happens. I don't know how y'all feel about it. That would be amazing if she did. That'd be some like Britney Spears stuff, like. Woo.
Oh yeah, and she's just completely bald.
Yeah.
Oh no! Like her hair is like beautiful, laid makeup,
Golden
beat
locks
back.
and, yeah.
She's
Old
just
school
giving this
Amanda.
because she wants you to think she's crazy, and as soon as the
Yeah.
music drops, it's a whole nother situation.
Let the beat
Or
drop.
either way, yeah.
Right? That's me wishing on a prayer.
I'm hoping a prayer. Right.
But you saw she tweeted at Miley Cyrus too. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys saw that one. She said, "Miley Cyrus, you're ugly," and Miley Cyrus responded with. That's just a sad story, and I'm gonna
She's
let
taking the
that
high
happen.
road, right.
Girl, that was reading, but
Right.
that's fine. Oh no, I'm Team Amanda.
Here's the thing, like at the end of the day, everything she's doing right now, okay, with whatever happens, is great publicity.
Is it?
She's stunting. Yeah, she is.
Because
No
who really
publicity
was
is that
checking for Amanda Bynes?
Well, that's true.
Exactly.
But you know what's funny? I was
Like we're
watching,
talking about Amanda Bynes on Black
every
Hollywood
day,
Live.
right on BHL. That's true. She is
Tweeting at her and everything.
in the conversation, unlike before.
So, again, I'm ready for it. I'm being in line in the snow, waiting. I want the first album out. Amanda.
Call me.
On to other musical news. Everyone's favorite singer, Keri Hilson, right?
Is she everyone's favorite? I'm just kidding.
There's these retirement rumors because of her pregnancy with NBA baller Serge Ibaka. Now, this is I know people want her to retire, but this is definitely another time.
That
for
is
her to
rude. Whoever
retire.
wants her to retire.
So
Like,
rude.
But yeah, no, she has a lot of life left.
Yes, she does.
Right? What do you guys? Keri Hilson music and her.
very talented.
She is.
I think she's incredibly talented. Yeah,
The whole
especially
beat-
as a songwriter.
And she's a songwriter, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's by far one of the biggest things that a lot of people in the industry don't have, and she does.
Yes.
She's authentic to me.
She only kind of fell off because people tried to do the whole Beyonce comparison. It's
Yeah.
like
Right.
she's not Beyonce,
Right.
She's not.
and I hope she knows she's not.
I don't think she tried to.
No, that's what I'm
be.
saying.
People were
And
just,
people
it's just
just-
the media and what the media makes it out to be. But inside source I do know that she has been a whole lot in OKC, and I probably feel that she feels comfortable. Serge Ibaka and her are having an amazing relationship. I've actually witnessed them together out, and I mean I think it's a really healthy, great situation for her. And it just probably is that time for her.
She's a grown woman. I was just gonna say, I think
it's
she's
that
early
time.
30s. Yeah, like
yeah.
30,
So I
31.
think
Yeah.
I think as women, it comes a time where we're
Absolutely.
like, I love my career, I do this, but I want to have
A family.
A family.
Yeah,
it comes that time where we all get that little itch.
Especially when you've done everything.
All right,
It's
Nick,
like,
you ready? I'm just like, Nick,
well, forget Amanda Bynes.
How far can we go?
Man.
one in the hand is what. I'm
If
just
you're in the
kidding.
studio, Amanda, then possibly we can do a little nod.
Right.
But so Keri shot the rumors down though, right?
Yeah, she did. So she's not retiring.
Yes.
Which is good, because I'm ready for another Keri Hilson album or something, or EP or something.
I agree. I
Single
mean,
at least. Give us something.
I like diversity. Not to knock Beyonce or Rihanna or any of the pop princesses that are mainstream. But it's nice to have something different. I
Yeah.
think Carrie's an alternative, and I appreciate what she puts out. So yeah, let's
I
get
do
more.
too.
Yeah. Well, Kanye.
Oh Jesus!
Everybody's
Jesus.
favorite,
Jesus Christ.
Kanye West. Of course, he celebrated his birthday, and so I don't think that he needs to celebrate anything else for the rest of his life. This is just me talking right now, because this guy, he's doing way too much. He says he has no time for radio. His album's out now, and so he didn't have any singles out. He's been traveling, leaving his pregnant wife.
No, she is not his wife.
They aren't married.
leaving his pregnant baby mama.
He's leaving his carrier at home.
His
Yeah,
right.
there-
His surrogate.
However
No,
you
just
guys
kidding.
wanna say it, but Kim is out here, and so he's out traveling, doing promotion, stuff like that. But You know, I mean, I think Kanye needs to slow down. I understand your birthday, but you know, you need to slow down. You need to slow down.
Why? I don't get what you're saying. Why?
Because like just
You want him to be a family man?
I want him to take a break. That's why. I think right now is the time. He shouldn't have released an album right now. I think because he has this kid coming. Be a father for right now, and then once the kid's maybe like 1 year old, 2 years old, okay, get back onto it. You know, because we've had enough of Kanye for a little while. Take a rest.
Speak
Oh,
for
you want
yourself.
a break from Kanye?
I want a break.
Musically?
period. Musically. Yeah. You can produce beats.
I think he has really hardcore fans that
could
would
produce- yeah,
definitely.
be very
But I
upset.
think, I being, and I will put this, I am a good friend of Kim. And I feel that, I know his career is, moving along, and I don't think it's going to be stopping no time soon. So get ready to see more.
I think you raised an interesting point, though, Nick. I was surprised to hear you say that because I think in our society, most people don't expect fathers to take professional breaks at the arrival of a baby. They think that's the mother's place. Like she's now got to kind of make these career transitions. But I appreciate you even acknowledging that as a father, there's an expectation there too. I disagree with it because
see
I
that,
like
Amanda?
Yeezy. But this is a potentially really good father, man. # Amanda's future baby daddy.
Well, all right, here's the thing. I think people are just worried about Kanye right now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's been in a semi-dark place from what we know that's going on ever since his mother passed away.
Yes.
And a lot of people are kind of going with, I feel him when he says, I don't care about the radio. As an artist, like, why should you have to censor yourself if you don't want to?
Yeah.
So if you don't want to, if you don't care, he's Kanye West. He doesn't care if a single ever gets on the radio again. Technically, he has a following
He
that
doesn't
will
need that.
always follow him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's more worried about, because I heard the album Yeezus. It's like, well, okay, controversy. Here we go with Yeezus. 1. 2, the music is very dark and just kind of like, what were you going through and listening to? And I hope Kim was not around because music can sometimes
negative energy.
change the baby and stuff. Like, I don't know who's coming out Kim's vajayjay. I'm gonna be kind of scared, but. I don't know. Musically, I would have liked to see him in a better place.
Yeah.
He wrote that song about Kim, the amazing song, but I liked where it came from because I want to see Kim and Kanye like happy and like a couple and.
Well, it isn't because like Kim and Kanye are never going to be Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Why?
Well,
I get
Yeah,
it. Never mind. I do
well,
get it.
But I do want him to follow
I kind of want to follow up with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 1 because Kanye West is not Jay-Z. Okay.
Agreed.
2, Kim Kardashian is not Beyonce. So
Right. Well, we
but they can have that type of caliber of relationship. But and because Kanye, Jay-Z.
Why are you comparing them?
Right. Why do they have to have that kind
Because
of
Kanye
relationship?
West is an
Because-
amazing artist and sells out arenas and everything, and Kim Kardashian is a businesswoman, a
She
very
is.
smart,
Yeah,
successful.
no. I'm not discounting the relationship, any means. I'm just saying that he's a very particular person. And so I don't think that we will have like the happy-go-lucky Kanye because that's
I
not
see what you're
Kanye
saying.
anymore. Because remember, like this isn't backpack Kanye anymore.
Graduation.
This is
I miss that Kanye though.
we all miss that Kanye,
Yeah.
but he's not that guy
He's
anymore.
not that guy
And
anymore.
so he's crossed over into a plane now to where he can never go back to where he was.
Yeah,
And so now, like this new arrival of where he's at now, I think he's possibly going through some stuff, and like this whole kid thing. He's like, oh my God. I think that's what he has this oh my God realization that I'm going to be a father now.
Okay, maybe. I look at it like I had a conversation with someone over the weekend who knows the camp, and one thing that they put out there was that he's been going through a really negative time. His mother passed away, and then he kind of got over it, and then this whole thing with Amber and Wiz Khalifa, and seeing Amber have another man's baby, apparently that set something off. I don't know if that's true or not, but there is just anger there, and we could be watching someone go through depression. I talk about depression all the time. It's a huge thing in the world, and people don't talk about it. And he can get back to that place. It's just about maybe the baby's gonna be the thing to get him there.
He might not get back to that place because I do believe that you don't unlearn
Right.
truths about life that you go through, but he can get to a happy place
yes,
again.
a
I
medium,
believe that.
a place
absolutely.
between the two.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you never know when the baby's born how he's going to start.
Right, that baby
You
could
know what's
change.
going to happen, but I know, you know, his career is going to continue. You know, they're going to more than likely go on the road with, you know,
Can we
same
talk
thing, the same way Beyonce did.
Can we have predictions around the table about whether the Kim relationship will sustain long past the birth of the baby?
I say yes.
Yes. Yes.
No. Okay.
Till the baby's 10.
10 years old? I give it till the
giving
baby's
10.
1 year
No,
old.
all right. I don't know about 10. I see it lasting for well. I don't know if I see it lasting the whole baby's life. I don't see that baby growing up with them as a strong
Couple.
household.
Yeah, but I think they could successfully co-parent for sure.
Yeah, they can definitely co-parent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they're
know.
great business
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, but I don't think that that they'll be together.
No, I don't think so.
for-
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think we're seeing them together that much as a couple now in the traditional sense. In that coupledom, it's more than just the title of we're in a relationship. It's partnership. It's togetherness. It's sharing a life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and especially in this industry nowadays, it's really like partnership.
Partnership.
Right.
Understanding, because you have to
Yeah.
understand she has a business, he has a career, they both have careers. So, you know, you both got to just have that understanding to understand
very
that you have a
difficult.
new life. And
That's true.
And speaking of partnerships, we sure got a partnership coming up next.
Wow, that was it was a great segue.
That's
so
a great segue.
everyone's favorite NFLer, Kerry Rhodes, and his
He's sure my favorite.
his alleged. Well, I guess we can say
Alleged.
lover, I guess, with these pictures. So, but there's more pictures out now, and so he's really just trying to like let him, hey, dude, like this guy is gay.
is he
Well,
denying it?
his ex-boyfriend is trying to say like everyone on the team knew about us,
Yeah.
like, and Kerry Rhodes publicly is saying
That he's
no,
not
No.
straight.
Yeah, because he has.
That's
to,
absolute. I mean, I don't care. Well,
There are pictures of them rowing in a kayak together. He's picking them up and holding.
Wow.
They're
Yeah, it is.
shirtless in bed together, like.
But that was his assistant, right? Like they were, and he was assisting him with.
He sure was.
what? Right.
Sure was assisting.
Sometimes you
You need help putting your socks on? Right. Okay.
You get
help
sore
putting your
after
drawers on?
the
You need help
game,
putting
and then
the
you gotta.
Because you want that Magnum, I'll roll it right for you. guys.
Wait a minute. I died.
But here's the thing, because and to be honest with you, I mean, if he is gay in the NFL, I mean, I think we're at a time now to where it's okay.
Okay.
What's his name? I'm just gonna say Jason Taylor.
Jason
Not
Collins.
Jason Collins. Yeah, in the NBA, he came out. So I feel like right now it's a perfect time to just
And especially
out.
if you have the support of your team.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Like your
is
team.
that true? Is that
Yeah, well, the
so
kid has said, I mean,
that's what the kid said, but is it true?
I mean, I would assume so. Why would he come
People
out?
know.
Why would he come out and
People
say
know.
like, we hang out with team members and
Yeah.
they know of our relationship.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I get being scared because that is a scare.
Yeah,
like,
it's a-
come on, publicly and
Would the NFL have something to say about something like this?
oh yeah, because the NBA did.
Yeah. But then like
would-
also like they can't like fire him or
No.
anything like because
no,
they
of
can't.
course
So
not.
like his I mean maybe I don't know where he is in his contract, but they're getting re-signed. But then again he could use that as the token. So now this other team if he gets cut or if it's at the end of his contract,
Yep.
if they don't sign him, is it because he's gay? So it's like
So I'm
he can use
surprised if
that.
the gay community comes out now and starts picketing out and
Right.
stuff like that. The gay community is really big, so I'd be,
right.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many of your favorite football and basketball they play with more than just those kind of balls. Bow, bow,
Well,
bounce,
well.
bounce, bounce.
Wow.
Wow.
Too much booty in the pants.
Yeah.
Tight pants.
That's why the
Yeah.
shorts got longer in the NBA because they got to.
I mean, I should have just did a collage for us to watch the pictures because it's a cute photo album of them. I must say.
Yeah.
Damn,
That is
someone
really
just done
cute.
leaked this.
Wow, he's so cute.
Yeah, that's
too.
true. I mean, but at the same time, it's like you said, Jesse, even though I feel like a lot, especially millennials, our generation, I think is totally warming to this concept. And, the Supreme Court's dealing with Prop 8 as we speak. And I think we're certainly very soon going to see legalized gay marriage. But there is still a segment of middle America and other parts of this country that are still chilled to this reality.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I do feel like it's Kerry Rhodes' decision to live in his truth when he is good and comfortable and ready. I don't think it's up to someone else to out him.
That's true. That's true. I mean, and because I think the bottom line is, as long as it doesn't affect your performance on the fields or on the court or wherever,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like if you're still a top performer and
Right.
you're gay. Like, who cares?
Right, he's a
I said,
top
as long as he would top, I was like, I'm sure he is. In that
Speaking of topping the charts, make sure you
Good segue then.
make sure you guys tune in, or not tune in, but make sure you subscribe to iTunes and rate, comment on all of our Black Hollywood Live shows that we do. This one, which is Black Hollywood Live This Week, and of course Black Hollywood Live Portraits, where we have some of your favorite celebrities with good, deep, in-depth conversations and interviews, as well as Black Hollywood Live Next with these brand new up-and-comers, actors and singers and celebrities who, you get to know a little bit more of. And of course, BHL Stand Up, Sit Down. So
I wonder which one Nick hosts.
Self-plug, right. Shameless.
it's a show on the network. So you guys can go on, rate, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell Kerry Rhodes to rate, comment, and subscribe to Black
Amanda
Hollywood.
Bynes.
And hashtag Amanda
And
Bynes.
hashtag
Hashtag.
Amanda
All right, Tammy, we're going to take you in, girl. All right, so we got some hot topics, and Miss Ebony, you're going to deliver them for
We
us?
do. Okay, so at the top of the show, we talked about our buzz-o-meter question for the week, which is, should affirmative action laws be modified? Should they be revisited in light of change? So here's the deal with affirmative action. A lot of people, its support is on the decline. For the first time in a long time, less than 50% of most polled Americans support affirmative action. I'll say this, though. A lot of people don't fully understand what affirmative action actually is. They have a very retrospective idea. They still think it's a point system where you're black, you get this many points, you're Hispanic, you get this many points. It doesn't really work that way hardly ever anymore. Supreme Court talked about this in 2003, University of Michigan case, where the quota point system thrown out. They only use that very sparingly, I think, the law school. But in general, you can't assign points for racial diversity anymore. But what you can do is you can consider it along with other things. For instance, if you're the first graduate in your family to go to college, you get a certain consideration for that. If you come from a low or impoverished background, you get a certain consideration for that. On the other side of that, if you are a legacy of that particular university or college, you get certain consideration for that. So it's one of many factors that are considered when giving you admission to higher education.
Not just.
Yeah, it's not
Race.
20 points for being black anymore. But it was that at one time, and a lot of people still think it is, and that's why they don't support affirmative action in today's society. So, just a little food for thought. What do you guys think about that?
I grew up on a Native American reservation, so it's kind of different for me looking at it because I understand both sides. I have no real say in it because at the end of the day,
Right.
what I'm doing with my life, I'm focused with that. But, the natives, because they, of their past and where they are today, get grants, can go to whatever school that, and a lot of them don't, a lot of the ones that I personally know, I can't say a lot of them, people that I personally know they used it, but didn't use it to their best ability, and got it over people who
You about their
were
education?
qualified, yes.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know when the laws changed or what. So that's, for me, I have seen that type of, so I can understand the frustration on both halves because I do understand that it is harder for certain people to financially
Right.
make it. And then there's also people who don't get in the door because of a point system.
Well, they shouldn't be using point systems anymore. I mean, if that's going on, that's at this point constitutionally invalid per Sandra Day O'Connor. So call me, I'll help you sue if that's going on. Dead serious. That's a read.
Hit up Ebony Williams at Black Hollywood Live.
For a class action. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I feel that if you are qualified, okay, regardless of what your, ethnic background, what your race, creed, culture, whatever, if you are qualified for the said position or the scholarship or whatever it is, then you should have a fair shake at it. So if it's two people that are evenly qualified, I mean, if it comes down to like a tiebreaker, take a test or something. Like there should be something to where it's even.
Take a test.
To where like not to where like, okay, well, this person grew up on this side of the hill and this person grew up on this side of the hill. You know what I mean? Like if they have like the same GPA, if they have like the same level of experience and this and that, and one just happens to be black and one just happens to be white, I mean, I feel that now we live in a day and age to where, since they're so evenly skewed, that let's just have them, let's have one determining factor, and that one determining factor could be a test or it could be something that to where they can both take something, and then whoever scores the highest or whoever does better, that's who should get the job.
And
or
do you
that's
guys
who should
believe
get
in
the-
2013 that it is? I mean, it's not, maybe we're not fully there yet, but there has to come a time where we do take a step and say, okay, we're going to drop all this and we're going to move forward as if we are equal.
I just don't think I
We're not
got to
there.
talk
That's-
about
and
my
that's fine.
experience. Yeah. I started practicing law at 23 years old, right? Young black girl. I'm the first person in my family to graduate from undergrad, let alone a professional school. That's not for that. So here's the thing, though. I walk in the courtroom as this young black girl, and there's a presumption of inability that comes along with that for no other reason than the color of my skin and the fact that I'm a female and my age. So there's several factors of discrimination. And that's not necessarily to say, oh, it's so racist. It's to say that we have innate natural biases that come along with how we grew up, how we're raised, what we're exposed to. And I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say that we need to acknowledge it in some way. Now, is affirmative action as we know it the best way to get us there? I can't say that. But I do think there needs to be some safeguards in play to acknowledge natural inconsistencies that our society still has, even in 2013.
Right.
And me as a Hispanic, I know I was the first, to graduate from high school and even go to college.
Right.
My parents were from Cuba, so it wasn't like, So I did go after those grants, and I was in dual enrollment. I did everything I could because I knew I couldn't afford it,
Right.
At that moment in time. So by the time I graduated high school, I was a sophomore in college.
Good for
By
you.
that, and I did work in a court system as well. And as soon as I stepped foot in there as the youngest in this, I started in Violations Bureau, VB. I did civil, then misdemeanor. Then I caught myself sitting in the courtroom next to the judge. And in that office, there was not like one lady that who's this little Hispanic girl that comes in here? You've been working here for 30 years crying about, about filing papers. I'm going to school. I'm trying to be a
Right.
I was going for paralegal before I got, tripped into the entertainment business. But other than that, that was my goal. And I did everything I could to go to college. I did. I went for business. But in the process, I can't even tell you how many, in college, in high school, I had the best, and God, bless his soul. I know he passed of cancer. My counselor, he would tell me, this is what you should do. And they helped me. But in college, it wasn't, I didn't feel that.
Support?
Yeah, and not really, because, they're always going to tag you. But nowadays, it's kind of like everybody's biracial. Everything is so mixed that you can't sit there and say black, white, or it's all mixed nowadays.
Right.
I do not have just a white friend anymore. It is mixed. I'm probably out of my group, I'm the only full Cuban. They're like, you're not mixed with anything. I'm not mixed. I'm just Cuban. My mom, dad, everyone's Cuban. I'm just Cuban. I was just born here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's a lot.
Would you say that, what if we were, because it's something that I've always talked about, what if we just took where it asks you race or ethnicity right off of that?
Yeah.
It would be really interesting to see, based off applications, who was accepted.
I think a lot of employers would be surprised. We
Yeah.
hired you? Wait a minute.
this is not what I look like in this paper.
Who
You
is?
don't. Yeah,
Right.
I
Supposed to be
think.
Eric Smith, and this
Right.
big 6'8" black man just walked in.
What's really good. What's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. There's that, Jesse, and I think that's a really valid point. But then there's also, by design, historically, affirmative action is actually designed to assist in historical wrongs, right? So when we start talking about people that, for reasons,
The
that-
Native Americans.
Native
I
Americans,
understood.
descendants of slaves, because it goes really deep when you talk about affirmative action, because there's also a study that shows right now, when you talk about blacks that are helped by today's affirmative action, not black descendants of slaves. It's mostly immigrant black people from the Caribbean or African immigrants. So it's not even helping so much the people it was designed to help. So that's like a whole different part of the conversation. But
Land opportunity, huh?
yeah. So it's interesting. So I think that we need something to still help give access to anybody. And again, it's not just for black people, but people from any disadvantaged background, socioeconomic or otherwise. But I just don't know if affirmative action's working in the way that we want it to. We'll see. Okay, so also, speaking of controversial issues, there's the issue, Nick is laughing at this because on our show, Black Hollywood Next, I'm fascinated with the issue of black hair.
Okay.
My mother was a hairstylist. I grew up in the shop. I was like shampoo girl, roller set girl, you name it.
Yeah.
Woo! And you know, it's a thing in our culture, in our community. There's so much curiosity when it comes to Black women and their hair. I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry. So there was an exhibit recently where Black women had signs that said, "You can touch my hair." Here, you see it right here. And they have a variety of hairstyles. Looks like this young lady's natural. This young lady looks like she's got dreads. The one to the far right looks like she may either be pressed out or relaxed. And the point behind it, right, is to remedy the curiosity. This is like that one day, like kind of like a free pass, right? Where you can go up and touch their hair. They're giving you actual permission and ask your questions. So in theory, I think it's a good idea. I think there's some implications that maybe they didn't think about. Like it's kind of like a petting zoo of sorts. And I think there's a lot of concern when you start talking about objectifying women, first of all, particularly Black women in this way. So lots of controversy on this.
And there's a video we have, because there was this, but the video goes on to talk about some of the people who were petitioning against it. And they had some very interesting signs.
All right, thank you, lady.
You cannot touch my hair.
This girl.
People with kinky hair are not a monolith, and unfortunately in mainstream society, when one Black person speaks, it becomes the voice of many.
That's true.
And in that spirit of being able to speak and share your reality, the thing is that hair for some people is a very personal extension of your, sometimes your sexual politics, sexual identity, your gender identity. And what's the difference between you touching my hair and touching my ass? It's still an extension of who I am. And so the zoo-like aspect of it is what kind of turned us off. And that's why I bought this sign that says Sarah Bartman. I'm sorry, I just saw her sign. You can touch my hair, but you can't touch my hair, but you can touch my ass. Yes, see, we're in the, yes, girl, yes, yes. So the idea here is that for any woman, why is that even a, first of all, it's a conversation to have, so I appreciate that the sisters are out here doing it, but my thing is how you broach the conversation, and I think that questions are a great entry point. Maybe the question is, why do you want to touch my hair?
Right. I think that's fine. What do y'all think about this? Non-Black women, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with what she said to a point. I get what they're trying to do. I think because there were some pictures, it's just like there's like a couple white men like going up and touching them. I'm just like
it's a zoo.
yeah, it's just, I get it. I really get it, what you wanted to do with it. But at the same time, artistically, how else could you have done it in which it's going to be talked about to make it so that it is, but it's the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter. It's, so I get they needed the controversial side of it, but I mean,
And I feel like
it was a little too much.
I feel like nowadays with everything, I wear extensions. I actually make them. Back in my day, I used to do the same thing at home. I used to do Spanish, Black. Everybody. I was a predominantly Black community where I was raised in, and a lot of people I would do hair, and the hair was really. Every girl needed to. These are do's that you're talking about, hair do's. Nowadays, we have actual real natural looking hair. The more natural, the better. But in my opinion, I use it. It's nothing new. Whether it's African American or I have extensions. I wear them. I take them off. I put them on. I have fun with it. But
Right.
Nick.
Nick.
When I grew up, as growing up, right? you never touch a Black. That's just you just don't do it.
that.
You don't touch it. You can look at it from a distance.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure your cup of water is nowhere near the hair.
That's fighting words, right?
Yeah, things happen, but here's the thing. I see how it is very oh my gosh, because there's a lot of different styles that Black women can do with their hair.
Sure.
And so, especially if you don't grow up around it, and then you maybe work with a couple Black females, and then one day they come with braids, and next day they come with a press and curl, and next day they come with this, and they're like, oh my God, what is all this?
You're like a transformer.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize
so
you.
much fun.
Yeah.
And I knew the tricks of it. My sister braided, and I did all the little kinks and stuff on the inside. But people would always look at us like, these girls are trying to be black or something. I'm like, no, it's just creative. I love art. I love to be creative, and I like to do crazy stuff in my hair, and it's what it is. But like you said, if you're not around that environment, if you don't grow up in that, a lot of people don't understand from looking out in. They don't.
They don't, and that's the thing. Like, along with a companion piece of this story, talked a segment about Justin Bieber was at the Grammys. This was a couple of years ago when he lost the Grammy to Esperanza Spalding. She's got a big, gorgeous fro, and it's a picture of Justin like patting it, like. And it's that type of curiosity. Obviously, Justin from Canada, not growing up around black people, black women, he didn't know. So I do think there needs to be some type of open dialogue. I mean, this is the greater conversation, right? I think we should live in a society where when you don't know about someone's culture, whatever it is, and you are genuinely curious, coming from a good place, we should be free enough to ask the questions and not be offended and not attack because someone wants to know. I think that's where we need to be, so that this isn't necessary.
Or possibly just educate yourself. I really go into certain cultures and try to understand and educate before I go out there and ask a dumb question that they'll look at me and be like, okay, that's pretty basic, dumb, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, just kind of like, it just shows the interest of people not educating themselves on certain cultures and stuff. And that means everything to me. And especially because coming from where I'm coming from, I'm from Miami. So where I was from, it was a predominantly black place. And when I go outside of there and I act a certain way or I do things, people look at me like,
oh, she's trying to be
she's
something.
trying. No, this is me. This is what I come from. Like, understand. If you understand me, you would understand better. So educate yourself, people.
And it's funny that their sign said, you can't, or what did it say? You can't touch me, or you can't touch my ass. And it's funny because I wonder if the people who put this installation in, if we were to reverse it, and because I mean, nowadays everyone's into the whole ass
big juicy
world,
ass,
Nicki Minaj, and it's just like
This,
so what if we
that.
had 3 people sitting out there like, you can touch my ass today, but then we get into sexual harassment,
Yeah,
then we get into
absolutely.
it's just like, think of the basic of what you're doing. You're treating these people
she
like...
was doing too much. Like, I feel with the whole Sarah Barman thing, she was doing way too much.
it's
I mean,
like-
I understand, but your hair is not your ass, first of all.
That's fighting.
Like,
That's
come
you don't
on.
touch my butt. You don't know me. Do not touch me.
Don't touch my butt.
You will get a reaction from me.
Well, speaking of asses, so glad you brought that up. Jill Scott making headline news in her tweet in reference to twerking, the twerking phenomenon. Jill saying that twerking, this is, I'm summarizing, but basically she said twerking was originated, I'm embarrassed to say this, by African women who ran out of toilet paper.
I didn't get it for a while.
The silence that we
right?
just had here is pretty representative of what most people felt like.
Sounds
when they
like
read that.
a joke. Like I would write that and say that on stage because that's funny. Like, to me, that's just like, as like a comedian, that's funny and I can get it and I can act it out and that makes sense. But she's a singer, so but she was serious about that.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think it's funny.
I don't get it though.
She said it was a joke.
Toilet paper.
Because you're shaking your ass and you gotta like, shake all, you gotta shake all the off, no dingleberries or anything left on. It's just
It was just doing the most.
It was doing too damn much, Jesse. And here's the other thing, right? I staunchly feel that black women, we have a branding issue in America right now, period, and that's a big, long conversation. With the way the media represents black women, it's not normally doing us any favors. And Jill Scott, I mean, she's a very bright, educated.
I'm actually really surprised.
I'm really surprised. Now, there are some artists that I could have expected that type of tweet from and just shook my head and kept scrolling through my timeline. But Jill Scott's not one of them. She's incredibly conscious in her lyric. I was surprised and really disappointed, to be honest, to hear that from her, because there's already a hypersexualization that goes on when most people think about black women, and for her to put twerking and its ridiculousness all on us, and like, I don't want to own that. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah, I felt like she just categorized everyone under that, and I'm like, well,
that's an African woman
I probably
thing.
did it, but
Right.
I mean,
First of all,
I think,
Miley Cyrus is twerking on Juicy J.
absolutely,
Right.
I watched that.
She been twerking.
Ooh, she did a twerk. She had a twerk a YouTube video that everybody was watching. Everybody started trying to do.
Right.
I know many girls in Miami that tried to do it.
Exactly.
I was like, look, girl, stop it. Stop.
Yeah, so I reject that sentiment, Jill Scott. That is not a good look. Also making news, potentially, people are saying that Neil Patrick Harris, Doogie Howser, he's really, first of all, phenomenally talented. I watched this entire thing live from start to finish. This was his opening number for the Tonys, which he just hosted last weekend. Here he is with Mike Tyson. They say if you rewatch that during this part right here, he let the N-word slip out.
Did you catch it while you were watching it?
that was my point, Jesse. I'm like very, very sensitive to any missteps when it comes to Black culture. Like you said, what you say? What? I'm like that on it. I watched this whole thing. I didn't hear an N-bomb from him at all. And another thing is, I've seen Neil Patrick Harris in interviews, impeccably smart. He would know so much better than that. This man's brand is flawless. I mean, he is well guarded it. I mean, first of all, just to transition from child actor to mainstream phenomenal talent that he is today, phenomenally guarded brand. He would never tarnish his brand in that way.
He came out and said, he was like, I would, and just the way he apologized, he was like, well, not even apologize. He was just like, I would never. It just came off very honest, and I mean, saying it next to Mike Tyson, like, I don't know. It was just, and on the, at the Tonys, like, in front of millions of people, it's just like, I don't see him doing that.
No, that didn't, I don't think that happened.
I mean, or he could have been real excited and just let it slip, whatever, you know.
I just don't think it's even in his vocab. To
Exactly.
Be
I was gonna say, for that to slip, I again, there's some artists I can see that happening with, but it has to be in your psyche. It has to be a natural part of your dialogue. It's like, oh shit, I'm not, oops, in the company of my own home, just like that, actually.
And that's something that I've battled with. I can absolutely say I am very guilty of this. Mind you, when I'm home, I have a loose mouth. When I'm in the other side of the world, I have to be so careful.
Right.
It's sometimes uncomfortable. I can't be myself, and it's like, crap. If I am myself, it's a problem. If I'm not, it's so bad, because I use it once in a while with my people in the comfort of my people when I'm home, because like I said, I was raised around it, and it's a word that's just been over and over in my head. So stop it. No, but I don't say it with no bad intentions like that. I feel like I'm part of the whole, and it's the culture too of hip hop as well. Like, we're listening to these songs, and some of these songs that we're singing, they're saying them very.
And that's why I hate that.
Now, once I came and it started getting into more political correct, I started knowing that, oh wow, you're not supposed to say that. Right. So you better start watching your mouth, young lady.
Well, really, no one's supposed to say it. That's the thing. Like, I think that's. Again, the takeaway from me with this is, again, one of the potential negative consequences to just the continued use of this word. I hate this word. I hate that it's in hip hop.
And for I know the Black American community is so, like, a lot of people are like, we can't see a white person saying this. This is like, that's the last thing, you'll get punched. But and I'm not gonna say it's right. I'm not absolutely not, but just saying from my perspective, as being someone, it's my honest and most, like, when I feel comfortable. Oh my God, if y'all just secretly put a camera in a corner, I am. You wouldn't think. I have an alter ego called Keisha, by the way. Y'all do not want to meet her. And Keisha is it's my person who I was back back from where I grew up. I had golds in my mouth.
Wow.
Before at 15. At 15, I had golds in my mouth. And recently,
it's Trick Daddy County.
Did you grow up in Dade County?
That hour away, out west, where like a lot of Fred Taylor, Santonio Holmes, all these people were raised in this city, and it's like, they call it Muck City. So, they recently, Throwback Thursday, some of my friends posted a picture, and they were like, oh my, I had gold in my mouth. I was stacked up. They're like, oh my God, her ass is real. I've been stacking. I was in 10th grade wearing some tight booty pants. I had gold in my mouth. And it was all predominantly Black people. I was like the only bright little thing in the photo. But it is what it is. I embrace it. I love it. And this is who makes me today.
And again, like Ebony said, there are certain people who I could see letting it slip. However, and of white descent. However, they wouldn't be hosting the Tonys.
You did not. Yeah, you came from a different. Yeah,
right.
I'm not hosting the Tonys now. I'm in a different situation.
Well, and there's people from white descent that didn't grow up necessarily in Black context, but still would say it as well.
Well,
if
in
it's okay.
In a whole different.
In a whole different context, completely different. Yeah.
But there's also people like Eminem who hasn't said it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And it's not. That's the thing.
But
this
not like,
It's a very controversial thing because it's not permissible in all Black communities. Period. Point blank.
Sure.
Like, if you came around my friends, girl, no.
Yeah.
Because we don't say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, if we heard another Black person say it, we'll check them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys are
it's
not
like
Trinidad James fans at all.
No, we're not. It's no blaspheme.
Gold all in my mouth.
That's it for Hot Topics. Tammy, before we head out, we want to know what you have going on. We want to know Now,
Okay.
You live in Miami? Is this a
I
rumor?
live in Miami. I do real estate, and I'm based out of Miami. I travel to Los Angeles a lot because I am getting into production, executive producing, and writing. A lot of people did not know that. I find an interest in creating. So, I do real estate in Miami. I've been in the modeling business now for 5-6 years. I've been in Single Ladies, my acting. That's where I started my acting career. Now I'm taking it to the next level. Obviously, I have to be based out of LA. So it's kind of like a stepping stone that I did with videos and being, judged and so much along the way. And Ed, I'm so glad it all happened the way it did because it made me such a stronger woman to come out here and say, you know what, I'm putting my foot down. I know how I feel when I get on this set, and I'm gonna do what I know I can do.
There you go.
Yeah. So right now I have a few projects under development right now. It's a bidding war between a few different big names. I don't want to, put it out there right now. But I definitely am so excited, and I'm looking so forward to it. My website, TammyTorresOnline.com, we're rebuilding it. We're bringing it back out. I have a clothing line. And
what's the name of the clothing line?
Right now, everything is built but the name. Everything is in position but the name.
Okay.
The name to me, I think in something like that when you're branding it is everything. So you have to be so particular about how you're gonna call it. So that's my last thing, and I have a few things that I kind of want to base it off of, but my Twitter is Tammy Torres, Instagram Tammy_Torres, and my website obviously will have everything on there. And as far as my projects, my next everything coming out, I have a lot of projects under development and ideas, so I'm really excited.
And definitely make sure you guys hit her up on Twitter because she's very interactive with her fans.
Yes, I love my fans.
Yes, well, we want to thank you, Tammy, so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for watching this
Thank
week,
you.
Black Hollywood Live this week. You can follow us at BHL Online. Hit us up on iTunes, even on Instagram. We're all over the place, people. Black Hollywood Live. And you can keep in contact with all of us, too. You can follow me at DJ Jesse J.
You can follow me at Ebony_K.
You can follow me all over the internet at the Nick Purdue.
And Tammy, one more time.
Tammy Torres.
And remember, people, hashtag Amanda Bynes BHL.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Christie, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.